Everybody, how you doing? Yes, it's Tam here. Guys here. Hmm. We're gonna have some deep conversations today. I'm gonna tell you guys things on how to communicate with these people because you're not getting it. Talking to them as if they're intelligent people when they're human beings and they're not. And today, that's what we're gonna discuss. We're gonna discuss how you should talk to these people so that you guys can get better answers. You understand? And sometimes no answer is a good answer from the school district. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. So let's stop the nonsense with the music. Bye bye. Bye bye. I did it right. So yeah. Anyway, hi Alma, how you doing, girl? Did you get your package? Because I saw that you got your package. Did you get it? Please tell me you got it. Because I just used this thing and I'm hoping and praying that you got it. Did ya? Did ya? Tell me quick. So anyway, Alma was my second customer for my website. So I thought it was great. Oh, you did? Did you like it? I hope you liked it. All you have to do is, is it wrinkled? If it's wrinkled, just, you can iron it. Too. You just iron the thing. It comes right up. But you just play with it and it'll work. The hat. She bought the hat, the bucket hat. Thank you so much. You said you were going to do it and you were no joke. I'm sorry that it took kind of long, but the reason why is because I was just getting to know this system and it took 4 days for these people to get it through their head that my shit wasn't connected right. Then after I did all of that, I found this other company thanks to one of my people out there, Megan. Megan told me about Pirate Ship. So guess what? I went there instead and guess what? This is going to be real good for me because I don't have to charge you shipping. I love it. Anyway, so you love the hat? Oh, I'm so glad. I love bucket hats. I do. I like the way they look. You flip them up, wear them down. They're cool. I'm gonna be making what do you call them? Hat bands for them. I'm gonna see how I can work one out. So I'll sell them separately. But anyway, so thank you so much. I really liked it. Do it about the belly chain. Did you like that too? Oh, girl, wait till you see this. You're gonna be mad. I made more belly chains, but this is the barefoot sandal. You put this around your toe, this goes up the top of your foot, and this goes around your ankle. And it's got a seashell star, and it's got imperial jasper beads, the big beads, imperial jasper. So I have a bunch of them. I just made two. I also made one that goes on your hand. Let me see if I can show it to you real quick, and then we're going to start. This is the belly chain. Okay, so it's going to wiggle so you guys can't see it and make you seasick. That's the belly chain. That's one. There's another one. It's shorter. There's a blue one. Really like this one. This one has Amazonite. What if I put it real close? Oh, okay. Stupid camera. My camera's stupid. And, okay, where's the one? Oh, here it is. This is so. Is this it? I don't know if this is it. I think it is. No, that's not it. That's not it. Is that it? Oh, anyway. It goes on the hand. I don't know where it went. I must have left it on the table. But that's some of the new stuff. If you guys go on and check my website, you'll see the new. Oh, here it is right here. This is so cool, guys. Look at this. Look at this thing. This is so cool. Oh, I love it. It's a ring. Put it on your hand. What? Put it on your hand like that. Isn't that friggin' cute? One size fits all. Because I use seed beads. I use stretch wire. Oh, you're wearing it as a necklace? Yes, you can do that. That's why I like them too. That's why I put the hooks on mine so that you can wear them any way you want. Because they're long. Yeah. Hi, Melanie. You don't want to have to dig if accessible. Do you have any case law reference up for FAPE and private school students? Those are cute. Oh, thank you. Um, hmm, I'll look it up. Check it out for you. FAPE is everywhere. Just go to OSAP. I'll put a link. I'll send you a link to go. You got to look up the OSAP policy letters, and that will help you find that information that you're looking for. But off the top of my head, no, I don't have anything right now. I have to look. Um, so anyway, so tonight we're going to talk about how you guys communicate with these people at the school. Some of you come out of the gate strong, and these are the other bracelets that I make. But anyway, always plugging. So you like this? It says, once upon a time, I didn't care. Then I still didn't care. The end. One of my sisters gave me this. I love it. It's one of my favorites. Right next to the one my mother got me that says, I hate people. I have one of those too. But anyway, so I'm glad you love your hat. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to put stuff out all the time. So you guys don't get bored. But anyway. On my website for my jewelry and my crochet and crochet everything. So, so anyway, so today, yes, we are going to talk about how to talk to these people. First and foremost, we have to get an understanding of what we're dealing with. Okay, who we're dealing with, and we have to identify as to whether or not these people are actually human beings. Because it's my personal belief that they're not. Because I cannot imagine how somebody could do this to a kid and then go home and have dinner and cook food, wash clothes, go through their life like it's okay. I don't understand that. So to me, they can't be human beings. So that being said, I have taken another approach. So what I'm going to teach you guys are how to ask the right questions. Okay. So one of the things that we're going to do is sometimes you guys get crazy with your emails. Okay. So it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out story. You don't have to explain yourself. You're asking, for instance, you want the last accepted IEP that you signed. You don't have a copy of it. You lost it somewhere. You want a copy of it. It doesn't matter what happened to it once they gave it to you. It does nothing. It doesn't matter. You don't have the signed copy. You want a copy of it. Last one. Now, the reason why that's important is because, let's say hypothetically, you rejected the IEP. If you rejected the IEP, they can't continue to implement that IEP. They can't. Okay. They have to implement the last IEP before the one you rejected it. But these dummies, they don't know that. Okay. And their teensy little brains, they don't know that. And so what that does, by asking these questions, clear, short, and direct, by doing that, you by doing that, you will be able to build your case against them. See, sometimes when they give you an answer, when you ask a question, and it's very simple. I want the last accepted IEP, or I want the data that you guys collected pursuant to my kid's IEP on page yada, yada, yada. It says you guys would be collecting data. I never got that data. I'm going to need it. Okay. Or evaluations that they've done. You want a copy of all of that. Okay. Or if they say, well, we can't give it to you because yada, yada, yada. Okay. Well, you want that policy. You want that written policy that they're relying on to tell you this cray shit they like to tell us. Okay. So what you're doing is you're laying the groundwork by asking these very short, very clear requests. You're just laying the ground. So now we wait for the answer. Okay. You should get 3 emails. There should be 3 emails. Okay. And then you stop. You got your case. So then the next question. Whoops, I numbered these wrong. Jesus Christ, there's something wrong with me. Why is everything doing okay? Every time I try to do something. Okay, so the second question. Wait, I gotta fix this. This is the second question. So the second thing that happens after you ask them for this documents or whatever, you're going to get an email. Okay, you're going to get an email from them with their answer. Okay, now here's where you guys completely lose it. Okay, you completely can't even understand. So you guys end up arguing with them. Stop it. Stop arguing with them. That's what they want you to do. They want you to argue with them so that it deviates from the question you just asked. So what you do is you let them answer you, and now it might come back what they never answered you. Say, excuse you. Maybe I should clarify this for you. I did not receive yada, yada, yada. Please provide me with that. Okay, that's all you have to do. Just say it again. Say, I'm sorry, you misunderstood. Okay, like I said, you keep it short, you keep it sweet, you keep it to the point. Okay, do not allow these people to go all the way out into the weeds somewhere so they don't have to answer your question. So when they still don't respond to you properly, okay, when you don't believe they still have answered your question, you ask them, you send them a third email, and you say, so let me get this straight, just so I'm clear. I'm just going to put it up here. Okay, your response, your last email response. So now in the last email, what you're going to do is you're going to nail it. Okay, so you're going to say, so just so I'm clear, I asked you this, and your response to this was this answer right here, correct? Is that what you're saying? So what you do is you explain to them what you believe they want you to believe. Okay, you just repeat what they said. That's what I want you to do. I want you to say, so let me get this straight. The email below, I asked you this, and your response was this. So what you have to say there is, so do I take it that you don't have this document? Is that what you want me to believe? There is no document. Is that correct? So now they're going to come back and say, oh, there's, but you nailed it already. And what I'm telling you guys to do is create the paper trail. Okay. If you create the paper trail, then when it comes time for your complaint, you're going to have the emails to show, I asked them for this. I asked them directly for this. Then I asked them to clarify. This is what I wanted, and this is what you said. Am I to believe that? And they said, yes, that's what you're to believe. Thank you. End of conversation. End of conversation. Understand me? You take that thread, you save it to your computer. You're going to build your complaint against them. Okay. You're going to prove denial of faith. You're going to prove whatever you need to prove. Now, if somebody has a question for me, please say, oh my God, Tammy, the paper trail creates karma. Hey, the paper trail creates karma. Wait, okay. Who got fired, Diane? Tell me, please, who got fired? Was it the principal, the Barbie? So it does create karma. It was, God don't like ugly. Okay, guys, for instance, this is what we've been going through. This is a perfect example of the paper trail. This woman has been stuck on stupid since I've been dealing with this parent since she moved to Utah. I'm not a big fan of Utah, and I don't want to be offensive to anybody, but I'm not a real big fan of this state. Now, maybe in other parts of it, it's a wonderful place, but what I've seen and heard about Utah, pretty much everybody is into the Bible thing, everybody, which creates a problem for children with disabilities and for the people that work there. Called the cops for me picking my kid. Did not. Did I like? And now they got all that paperwork. Okay, see? We created a paper trail. Diane, let me finish this. We created a paper trail against this principal, basically, against the school district. We filed against them, and we won, and they didn't do shit. What they did is this parent moved from Massachusetts to Utah. Okay. She was in a full inclusion, regular ed classroom all day long. These idiots put the kid on a half-a-day program because she has autism. That was the reason. They decided not to take anything that was in her IEP. They didn't accept it. They didn't do an evaluation. I mean, there was so many things wrong. But prior to building this, I don't like to just jump right into filing a complaint. I try to work things out with the school district. I really do. I try to be a good gear. But it just don't work all the time because they're just stupid. It's a perfect example of stupidity. Okay? So we kept building this record. I kept telling Mom, do this. We filed a complaint. Mom said, damn, you file. I'm not doing that. We kept doing stuff. They finally moved the kid to another school. She told me I needed to sign over PO. Yeah, I needed power of attorney in order to be her advocate. I gave them power of attorney. I just filed a complaint. I don't need to do none of that. But this is what they do. So you guys have to remember that as long as you're building your case, stick to your guns. Just stick to your guns because there's some wild, crazy stuff going out there, you guys, with the laws. Nobody is implementing the regulations anywhere under any system. They're just not doing it. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if I didn't get the email. They said this is now Russia. I don't know. But the rule of law in this country is going into the cesspool. Nobody wants to do anything. And pretty soon, we're not even going to have idea. Because they don't want to do anything. They want to collect our tax money. They want to put it in their pockets. That's what's going on. Do you understand? I'm representing kids right now, 2 kids. Neither one of these. Oh, thank you, Alma. Neither one of these. Yeah, but you said congratulations. For instance, this is a perfect example. Thank you, Alma. So I posted some stuff on my Facebook page. I filed a complaint. I won. Or did I? Did I really win? So they issued corrective action order against the school district. Guess what the school district did? That's what they did. Nothing. For an entire school year, they had 1 year to implement all of the compensatory services in this kid's IP. 1 year, they never did anything. Nothing. They didn't hire the right people. They didn't do anything. You know why? Because they wanted it on their terms. The mother wanted her kid to be homeschooled. Special ed homeschooled. She already got approved for the gen ed classes. So all they had to do was provide it with virtual. And according to special ed regulations, a child with a disability can be educated in numerous places. The home, the hospital. So, but what these cray people said is, we actually have it in writing. We don't believe that would be a good thing. I don't care what you believe in. Since you haven't evaluated this kid since 2020 when he was in kindergarten. He's going to be 13. That's one of the things they got in trouble for, and they still haven't done it because they keep putting barriers in the road. So guess what I did? So I filed a complaint against the state, which is what you guys saw on Facebook. That's the result of the complaint that I filed against the state, because when I told those idiots to do the investigation, because they didn't, and they gave me a corrective action order, they actually did the investigation. And they owed us compensatory. I won. They said I won. Then they never monitored to see if these idiots were actually doing their job, what the state told them they had to do. So did I really win? Not so much. So now I'm filing against them again. Because that was only to June of 2023 they had to implement that. Coming into June 2024, guess what they didn't do? None of it. So I'm filing another complaint against the state because that complaint that you guys say, read it. You know what it talks about? What they're going to do to make things better so that they're compliant with the idea. Nothing about my client. Nothing about the fact that I asked them to investigate the denial of faith they did. And the fact that I want them to provide the compensatory services pursuant to an IDEA regulation, 300.227, that actually says that if the school district refuses, then the state has to provide it. And you know what they did? They ignored that law. The same exact things that I've got them on other things. on another case, they did it on theirs. They did it again. They did it again. I just sent it over. Then on another case, they consolidated 6 of my complaints into one. I just asked them for every single complaint that I filed for each one of those numbers. There was 4. There's 4 numbers. I filed it. Diane, I'm so happy for you. I can't even believe it. Told me I need to. Congrats on you, Jessica. And now my kid has stopped self-harming. Good. See? She didn't start until we moved here, and she stopped at the new school. It's hard, people. Diane, was this hard for you? Was this freaking hard for you? An entire bookshelf fell on her kid at the library in the school. She broke her arm. And they tried to change it into something that it wasn't. But parents stuck with it. Okay. What I'm trying to explain to you guys is, with these people, you have to assume they're stupid. And you have to be very, very clear. They didn't even call me or send it. Yeah, that's it. She had to take her kid to the hospital and found out that her arm was broken. They didn't have the decency, but see, this is that Bible state. This is what I don't understand. Things like this mess with my head. I asked for social behavior goal, and the SLP proposed a goal with the BCBA president. The BCBA said my son does not qualify for her services, but they offered me a UNO card. Tell them to put it in writing. Did they identify any? The reason why the BCBA is saying it, $10. The BCBA did not identify any target behaviors. In order for your kid to get ABA services from a BCBA, your kid has to have inappropriate behaviors. Now, inappropriate behaviors is a lot of things. It's task avoidance, okay? It's inappropriate behaviors, inappropriate touching, inappropriate a whole bunch of shit, okay? If your kid has one, qualifies. I don't know what she's talking about, so what you need to do is you need to put it in writing. That's a perfect thing. Thank you, Alma. That's a perfect thing, okay? So mom asked for a social behavior goal. Social behavior would indicate that the kid has some kind of socialization problem. Now, it could be a whole bunch of stuff. It could be that he doesn't have any friends. It could be that he needs somebody to help facilitate interaction between his peers. And if the child is autistic, there's a whole lot of reasons. Communication, a whole lot of things. The BCBA is stupid. Okay. That's the kind of BCBA that you report to the BACB. So this is what you need to do, Alma. What I would do is say, you send an email to the BCBA and include the SPED director and say, during the team meeting, you said my son doesn't qualify for BCBA services. However, you didn't elaborate. Because even if she did, you wanted to put it in writing. Understand? You wanted to put that shit in writing. You want to know specifically, what does she use as as he doesn't qualify? What deemed him ineligible? That's what you say. I need to know what you believe deemed my son ineligible for your service. That's what I want you to do. Because here's what I need you to know about ABA. ABA is based on measurable behaviors. A measurable behavior is anything that you can see with your eyes. Okay? If you can see, or I think it's anything that you can see that you can measure. So, or hear. So if he's, I don't know, say he's clearing his throat a lot. I don't know. Some kind of noise. Yes, the AB. It also includes what you hear. So let's say one of my clients loved to make siren sounds. And I mean, he made siren sounds all over the place. He made lots and lots of siren sounds. Okay. All different kinds from England and everything. All different types of siren sounds. And so he had a behaviorist. And the behaviorist, they knew that sometimes he didn't even know he was doing it. He was in the zone. So that was a target behavior. Trying to, as a matter of fact, I did my a paper and I got an A. I had to, in school, I had to write a behavior support plan for me. And I had to pick my target behavior. You know what my target behavior was? My target behavior was how to talk in a normal voice. No yelling. I couldn't be loud. I couldn't yell. And so I literally created a behavior support plan to address how I was going to identify the antecedent to the behavior, which I did. The antecedent to my behavior is I'm either excited by being upset or being happy, or if I'm in an argument, or if somebody pissed me off. Those were my triggers, and that's how I did it. So she's full of shit. Say, it's my understanding that in order for you to do this, you have to identify behaviors. If I told you, when this ding dong BCBA told you that, has she done an FBA? And if she did an FBA, did she do an interview with you? And I bet you she didn't, did she? The reason why she didn't want to do an interview with you is because, first, let me just say, if a BCBA doesn't, part of an FBA is for a BCBA or the person doing it, like a psychologist. They must interview the parent and the teacher. She did not, of course not. I didn't want to jump ahead because I was hoping I was wrong. So that's what you tell her. It's my understanding that you say to her, during the team meeting, you said my son was not eligible. That's what you say, for BCBA services. First of all, it's my understanding it's ABA services, number one. Number two, you're a BCBA, but you get ABA services. That's how you say it. This is what you're going to write. You're going to say, it's my understanding that you're a BCBA who provides ABA services. And during the yada yada, put the date in there the meeting was. Okay? You put the date. During this meeting, you said my son was not eligible for ABA for your services. However, you never interviewed me to help you identify the target behavior for which I requested the FBA to be done. It's my understanding in accordance with your regulations. That's another thing, guys. When you're talking to these professionals, just say the phrase, your regulations. Every single person that works with your kid, a teacher, a BCBA, an SLP, an OT, a PT, whoever, they all have regulations. Okay, yes. So you tell goofball that. Okay. You tell her, so you want to fix this now? I mean, I don't understand because and then you just say, I contacted the BACB and they referred me to your ethics code. The BACB ethics code for BCBAs is online. BACB.org or .com. Let me just see. Okay. I'm just going to see if I can. Yes, it's BACB.com. Okay. That's how you tell it. And you just bluff. You just say what I said. You don't need to look at it. You say, excuse me, but on yada, yada, yada date, you stated that my son wasn't eligible for your services. However, it is my understanding, pursuant to your code of ethics, that part of the assessment is for you to talk to me, his parent, to find out what the target behavior is. Then I want you to see if he has. You didn't do none of that, did you? Got it. Code of ethics. That's how you get it. You see what I'm talking about? First of all, you guys got to bluff. I'm telling you all of this stuff in everybody has regulations outside of IDEA. And these people that work for the school districts, like that BCBA, she thinks she's protected by them. She is not. The BCBA regulation specifically says that a BCBA can't go and work for somebody and throw out the code of ethics for BA to be a BCBA. It literally says it in the code of ethics. So what that nonsense that she said, you tell her, well, I'll just notify. You tell her, well, then I need that in writing. And then you send it. You also contact. He sits alone with honey. You want to know why he's sitting alone. And then what you do is you do some observations. You literally go to the school, bring somebody with you. So at lunchtime, Just go. You want to go at lunch. Okay, your son has reported that. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So what I would do with that is I would tell the parent. So what I want you to do is he sits alone at lunch. How do you know? So we got to break it down. So how do you know he sits alone at lunch? All right. So let's look at this one thing. So this mother's saying, Alma's saying that her son sits alone at lunch. How do you know, honey, that he sits alone at lunch? I'm going to use you as a thing. I'm going to show you how to write an email on this. So we just learned about the BCBA. Remember, when you have a person telling you stupid stuff, first of all, in order for any of them numbnuts at the department, at the school district, to tell you your son can't have a service because he didn't meet some qualification, there is no qualification to get OT and PT. A test. The bot 2 talks about OT and PT, fine and gross motor skills. Okay. Range of motion determines whether or not your kid can have it. Can he catch a ball at 10, 15, 20 paces? Can he swing a bat? Can he ride a bike? That's all part of the bot 2. So that's why the law says you have to have valid and reliable, technically sound instruments. Those are the instruments that tells you whether or not your kid needs that particular thing. Now, if you're already seeing an OT, a PT, a speech and language outside, clearly your kid needs those services in school. That's why we have IDEA. Okay, so kids don't have to be pulled out of school to go get services so they can learn in school. See, that's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. That's what they want you to believe. So what you have to do, I got the gut verified in the, okay. So that's number 1. So now you got to put it in writing. So you say, so what you need to find out, this is what you did. First of all, number 1, send an email to the BCBA. Number 1. Everything that you guys do is strategic. Okay. You sit down and you say, okay, so this wench told me that my kid doesn't need ABA services. My kid has autism. My kid has socialization and communication issues. You know why? My kid has autism. That's part of it. That's a symptom of the disability. BCBAs are all about behaviors. You know how it started? It started with this old guy back in 1987, okay? Ivar Lumas, okay? He's the one that came up with ABA services, how ABA is supposed to be implemented, all of that, discrete trial training. It all came from this guy, Ivar Lumas, 1987, I believe. You can look him up right now. What you need to do is hand it to that cray bitch. And if you need it, I got it. So I'll send it to you. You say, that's not what Ivar. You tell her this. Okay. Ivar Lumas. Okay, he's a doctor. Just look him up. And you look up discrete DDT. Okay? You just look up that now. You just look that up. Okay? Look up that guy. When you get the study, you say you want the study. I believe it's 1987 study with autistic kids. Send it to that wench, because let me tell you what BCBAs know about. That guy. Any BCBA in America knows about that guy. They call him the ABA dude. He's the one that created ABA and DTT and all of that shit. He did it. It was him. So she knows. So you tell her. You didn't do none of this. You take the evaluation and you say, the only thing you want to ask her is how she came to her conclusions. Based on what? That's the first email. So she said, your son doesn't qualify. Okay, good. Based on what? She's going to say the evaluation. And you're going to say, the evaluation that didn't include an interview with me, the one where I would have told you what the behaviors are for which I asked for the FBA for you to do. And isn't that your job function, to interview me, especially me, the parent, the guardian, me? It says in your regulations, in your code of ethics to interview the interview. You didn't do any interview. You interviewed who you wanted to. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, my kid's sitting in the lunchroom all by himself. My kid is autistic. Do you know what autism is? That's what you got to say. So, see, I go nuts. So the first question is, because you want to bury the bitch. So the first question is, what did you use to make that determination? She's going to give you an answer. That's email number one. She'll respond and she'll say, from the FBA, from her FBA. Really? So you say, the next email is, the infinite with, exactly. So the next email for you, Alma, will be, after she answers you, you say, just so I'm clear, I'm looking, see attached FBA that you did. There's nothing in there that says you interviewed me. Because you didn't. So your evaluation didn't include an interview with me, the mother? How was that possible? Please explain how you omitted me from this evaluation. And I'm the one that asked for it. That's the second email. Meantime, the reason, now she's burying herself because that she's going to say, well, I thought, you thought. You do realize that the BACB code says you're supposed to interview me. Do you need me to send you the specific code? I will. I know what the BCBA code, I have the book. I'll give it to you. So little by little, you're dragging her down the hole. She's going right down the hole where she's going to smolder and disintegrate. Because now you have a complaint ready for Doofus to go. You can file it with the BACB. School don't have to know nothing. She's going to go tell the school. It don't matter. School can't tell you shit. Because the regulations say that she can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And that's what she did when she did your evaluation. To protect the school. To lower the cost for the school. Now they owe you. Okay? So what I would do is go and get an FBA outside and put her to shame. I've done that and it works wonderful. Because once an FBA does yours, the new FBA will come in. You don't ask them to do an IEE either. Use your, if you have state insurance, use that insurance. Go get an FBA done by your insurance company. All right. I'm telling you, you will. I bet you he'll have ABA services in his IEP. I bet. How much? I will show you how to do it. That's how you handle your business. Stop getting mad about what they say. You got to look at what they did. When you asked for something, number one, they can't deny you with a damn email. Do you understand? They can't deny. I mean, they have to provide you with prior written notice. If you're asking for an evaluation, if you're asking for a placement, if you're asking to change your kid's identification from an IEP to 504, if you're asking for anything that has to do with the provision of FAPE, which everything you ask for has to do with the provision of FAPE, they have to provide you with prior written goddamn notice. Period. Okay? You want to figure out some ways how to ask them questions, go look at it. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to show you. Let me pull it up and I'll show you how to ask questions. You guys aren't going to believe this is what I used to do. And I still do it every now and then. Watch. I'm going to show you guys something and you're going to be like, what? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Screen share. Yeah. Share. Okay. So now we are going to slide your ass over here. Okay. Now where'd it go? Where'd my thing go? Over here. Okay. Watch this, guys. So, see over here. Sometimes you guys, if you look at the regulations, you guys can actually get your questions to ask the school district from the regulations. I do it all the time. So what you say is, I just told Alma, what she needs to do is ask them how she came to that conclusion. How did she determine that? Here it is right here. What a description of the procedures she used. That's all you have to say. Reword it. All she has to do is, could you provide me with the description of the process that you used to make that determination? she's going to say her evaluation. You say, okay, good. So then, let me see, where's another one? Okay, this is what has to go. This is all of the information that must go into prior written notice when you ask for something. And every time you ask for something, it's a provision of faith. If it ain't nothing else, you can't think of nothing else, you say, in order for my kid to receive a provision of faith, I need yada, yada, yada. Then they have to send you prior written notice, not an email saying, well, we don't feel, I don't care nothing about their silly feelings, okay? There's, for the record, everybody, there's nothing in IDEA that talks about the school district's feelings, okay? Congress wasn't, back then, Congress was Congress. And they weren't sitting around talking about, well, how is this going to make the school district feel? And, how is this going to make it worse for them? They weren't doing none of that. Right? So the feelings of the school district or their opinions are nowhere in IDEA. Okay? It's got to be backed up with hardcore evidence. It has to be backed up with testing instruments that are deemed valid and reliable by all kinds of people. I could show you all of that stuff too. There's actually 3 organizations that can deem a test valid and reliable and technically sound. There's a whole big process that a person who wants to create a testing instrument that they have to go through in order for them to say the WISC-5, for instance, is valid and reliable, technically sound instrument. Okay? Or the BOT 2. Or, the what is it called? The TOWL, TOWL, that speech and language thingy. Okay? Everything that they do, the WACE, okay, the WIPSI, all of those are technically sound instruments designed to measure certain things. Okay? So they have to put in writing how they came to their conclusion when they said no. They don't get to do it the quick and easy way. They do it all the time. Don't get me wrong. They do it. They do it because you guys don't know any better. That's why they do it. Okay? Because they're no damn good. They're just no good. Okay? So that's one thing. So that's how you get them all the time. You have to put their feet to the flame. You really do. So if they tell you something, you don't just accept it and you don't argue with them. Prove it. Make them prove it to you. Where did you get that from? So a lot of times they'll say, well, we don't do this because yada. Oh, really? Is that a written policy? Does the state know you're doing crap like this? Put it in writing and send it to them. Because they will, I'm telling you, these people put the craziest stuff in writing that you guys don't even know you have in your possession. Because they say whatever comes to mind. Whatever comes in their head, they treat it as the gospel. And they think they're right all the time. And I'm telling you, they are never right. Never, ever, ever right. They're right about stealing your kid's education. They're right about treating your kid different because your kid has a disability. And they're right about taking that money and doing whatever the hell they're doing with it because your kid ain't getting an education with it. Okay? So, yeah. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But you got to know how, to ask the questions. You just got to know that just because they said so doesn't mean it is so. And you just got to, all you got to do is remember, just keep it short and simple. You're dealing with a moron. That's all. If you think like that, you will hit pay dirt every single time. And remember, you're not going to get what you want. What you want is an answer. And what you need is it to be, there's only 2 answers that they can give you. It's either going to be a lie or it's going to be the truth. That's it. If it's the truth, they're going to be able to produce documents to show this is why we do it, yada, yada, yada. This is in line with, yada, yada. If it's a lie, it's a tell because they can't, there's nothing. Well, we've been doing it like this for years and blah, blah, blah. No. As soon as they start talking about what typically they do, when they use the word typically, that means they're breaking the law. That's code for do whatever the hell we want. That's what that is when they use the word typically. I was in a hearing one time in New York. The SPED director used typically so much that every time she used the word, and in my complaint, I said that they typically do this. according to the school district, this I started using it. Typically, everything I said was typically. And then I would cite what the law said, which contradicted their typically. We won every single hearing we had with them when I was up there with the parent. We won every single one. We had 3 hearings. One was 3 days, one was 11 days, and one was 14 days. We won all of them because the school is stupid. And it was the same school over and over again. Same dumb school over and over. Because this woman believed that, I mean, these are the people that were picking up the phone, calling these kids' doctors and asking for a prescription for OT and PT, anything they want. And they thought that was okay. And wait, it gets better. The doctor gave it to them. Mother didn't know anything about it. That's another thing you people need to do. If you signed a paper, if you signed one piece of paper, go look at your kid's IEP. On the IEP, there's a piece of paper in there that allows the school district access to your insurance. I need you to rescind that consent immediately. Because let me tell you why. Let's say, hypothetically, your kid's getting 2 times 30 speech and language every week. You decide you want a third. You want 3 times 30. Because that's what your people said your kid needed, 3 times 30. School's only giving them 2 times 30. So you go, you ask for it, they deny your request. You say, okay, fine, I got insurance, I'll go over here. So you go to your people and they deny you. They say you can't do this. And then you said, why? You ask why. And they said, because you're already using your insurance to pay for the ones in school. That's a violation. It's literally in IDEA. They can't do that. If their access to your insurance means that you can't get the service yourself using your insurance, your kid's insurance, then they can't do it. Okay? They can't do it. And it's real easy to prove. And when the reason why that's in there is because some parent somewhere went to go use their insurance and the goddamn insurance company said no because they were already being billed for the insurance through the school district. Because what they do is they put the OT, the PT, the speech and language, whoever, any related service provider, they put it through your insurance. And then after you can't get any more, then they start picking up the tab. So when you ask for 3 times 30, I don't understand why they ever say no. You're tapping into my kid's insurance. So this is what you do. Make sure that they're not doing that. You need to make sure that if you're an advocate, you make sure that your clients get copies of whatever is being, like say in a year or 2 years, it doesn't matter. What insurance, what the school, the invoices, it'll have an invoice of every single time somebody submitted a bill for that insurance company to pay. And it'll have the name of the entity. It'll say the public school. It'll say the name of the school and the person. And you'll know by reading it that it was a school. Now, here's the thing. So then when you get that, you send over an email to the school. Please provide me with a copy of the consent form that I signed, allowing the school district to get access to my son's insurance or my daughter's insurance. Now they have to send you that copy. 9 times out of 10, most parents don't even know they signed the damn thing. And here's the reason why I said don't do it. These people don't do anything for us, but they want everything their way. So why should they get access to your kid's insurance when you just ask them for 3 times 30 and they said no? And they're not even giving it. The insurance company's paying for it. They're not even paying for it. So why do they care? Why? And there's a reason. I believe the reason is, and you can ask the insurance company. I think I'm going to find out from Mass Health. Once the insurance runs out, because it's limited, when you get IP, OT, PT, and all those services, you only get a certain number a year. Okay? And as long as they're getting billed, the insurance company's getting billed, they're counting it. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It doesn't matter if it's the school. They're still paying for it. Under your insurance, you only get this many sessions. It doesn't matter if it's the school district or some outside person. If the insurance company's being billed, you're not going to get it. So once they hit the sessions number, so now you go and try to get it, and they're going to tell you no. That's what they're going to do. Go and rescind your signatures on any insurances that you have, yes, they're supposed to give the parents itemized statements for every service. I always tell them, no, that's right. And there's nothing they can say. They can't say shit. It's against the law. They can't say the only reason why we'll give you the service is because we need access to your insurance. That's what New York said. And they lost. They lost a whole bunch. They had to pay for all kinds of independent evaluations because they're stupid. The 3 hearings cost over $1 million when we got done with them. One hearing, we figured it out, was over $250,000. Mm-hmm. I think that was the 11-day hearing. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Because they don't care about our kids. They only care about them. And you would not believe the shenanigans that was going on during that hearing. I mean, it was bad. I told the hearing officer, one was a telephone call and calling the doctor. And when I asked the SPED director about it, and I said, so you just pick up the phone and call the doctor and ask for a prescription for OT? Yes. And he gives it to you. Oh, yes. Did you get consent from mother? Oh, no. We don't need consent. I said, what? You don't need consent? The SPED director said this, and she was sitting in front of me, and the hearing officer was to the left. And I'm like, did you hear that? Because these people are crazy. Not only was the SPED director doing it, but anybody can do it that was in the building. I mean, the secretary was doing it. She testified. I made her testify, and she said, yes, I do it all the time. So there was no privacy. Apparently, these kids lost their rights at the schoolhouse door. They lost their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse door, which is the exact opposite of what's supposed to happen. That's a public building. That's a government building. They can't violate government regulations. Tiffany says, yes, they're supposed to give parents itemized statements. Good, which they can't stand. I know that, of course they can't stand it. You know what's real cool? Make sure you get the IEP written first. Make sure you get the IEP written first with all the bells and whistles. Then they'll ask you to sign that paper. You tell them absolutely not. You know what they might do? Well, we can't deliver the service. Put it in writing, bitch. I dare you. Do me a favor and put that in writing. That every time you guys go to team meetings, I told you before, the reason why I tell you guys to take notes, write your questions down, what you want to know prior to the meeting, okay? And get all of the documents that they're going to discuss at that meeting 2 days before the team meeting, and it's 2 school days, not just 2 days. Because what they'll do is they'll give it to you on a Friday, and the meeting's on Monday, and they call Saturday and Sunday 2 days. No, it's not the way it works at all. 2 school working days. They don't work on the weekends. Why should you? When they wrote up all that stuff and they had a big team meeting to discuss what they were going to propose to you in the IEP without you even sitting there, they didn't do that on the weekends. They didn't do it on the weekends. So you guys have to be clear. When you're writing emails, be clear about what you want. Think about what these morons are telling you. Just sit there and think about what they're saying to you. For instance, one of my clients told me that she wanted the last signed IEP. That's all she wanted. School district sent her an IEP. She sent him another email. She said, that IEP is not signed. Is that the last signed IEP? We're waiting for the answer. Because they're crazy. I mean, this woman is supposed to know what she's doing. It's not funny, Megan. She's supposed to know what they're doing. This is why I hate them. And then this is why I'm always dictating emails to my clients. Say this. You know why? Because they're playing with you guys, and it's so irritating to me. I just want to jump to the phone and just smack them right across the mouth. I really do. But, you can't do that. It's against the law. Even if you could jump through the phone, it's against the law. You can't hit nobody. But what you can do is bury them. What you can do is bury them. And you just keep fighting. You just keep pushing that envelope. Because they don't want to answer your questions. Because every time I'm telling you, if you guys do this, every single time they open their mouth, they dig a hole. Right, Megan? It's scary. They're in charge. Scary. I keep telling everybody, I'll be goddamn. My kid would be at home with me. I don't care how hard it is. I don't. I would not send my kid to any public school to be taught by these morons. I'm sorry. They're just not. I can't even say anything really about teachers. The people that are running the school, the administrators, those are the people I'm talking about. The teachers are easy peasy to fix. If you got a bad teacher, here is the signed IEP. They're crazy. They sent her an IEP with no signature. And you know what? I can't say it because I don't know if they might be trolling or nothing. But wait, I'm not done, Megan. Wait till I tell you what they friggin' did because they're so stupid. I'll tell you guys after. But there's a way of getting them. There's a way. You just send the email, and they're stupid. They'll send it anyway. Okay, thank you. This is what you said, right? Am I reading this right? I asked you for the last signed IEP. You sent me this IEP with no signature. I don't understand what you're doing. And that's another thing. Sometimes just shut up. Take it. Accept whatever they said. I'm telling you. I tell parents this all. Don't. Megan, how many times have I told you? Stop. Don't say nothing else. Leave it. Let it sit there and marinate, okay? There's going to come a time. And they're not going to have any answers. They don't know what they're doing. And when you just let it marinate, I'm telling you, leave it there. Ask the question, you get the answer. Whether, even if it's wrong, even if it's, you know it's wrong. Do not get into a pissing contest with these morons, okay? For instance, I got a good one. Here's another one. So recently, I'm helping a parent with her kids. Her kids are out of school and they're over the age of 22. The kids are in a group home. I've been fighting with these people, and the parents been fighting with them for months. They're so stupid. They're doing all kinds of whack things, and they don't even know what's about to hit them. Okay, so first, this moron, we're at what's called an ISP meeting. For all intents and purposes, it's an IEP meeting. So we're at a meeting. And this moron, the mother says she wants her son to see a podiatrist. She does not want staff at the group home to cut her son's toenails. Her son is aggressive, physically aggressive. If he even thinks you're coming at him to hurt him, he's going to kick and knock out some teeth or something. So rather than all of that nonsense that takes place, let's just have him go to, a podiatrist. Do you know, while I was sitting there, that idiot woman during a Zoom meeting looked me in the face and said only people with diabetes can have a podiatrist? Looked at her for a long time. I said, if you lost your damn mind. Her eyes got real big like this. She was like, I said, I don't know why you just opened your eyes up all crazy like that. Do you know how crazy that sounds? Do you have any idea? So you actually believe that podiatrists are only here for people with diabetes. They went to school to become a podiatrist only to serve people with diabetes. Now, I know there's a lot of people with diabetes, but not enough to have a practice. I mean, the things that, this is a woman that works for the Department of Developmental Disabilities. And I swear before all that's holy, it is my firm belief and opinion that in order to work for DDS in Massachusetts, you must have an intellectual disability. You have to. Because the crapola that comes out of these people's mouths during team meetings is enough to make you crazy. So, okay, so that happened. We called her on it. We got a podiatrist, by the way. Oh, yeah. So he goes to a podiatrist, and so now we go to the podiatrist, and he hurts his ankle. Nobody knows how it happened. It's a report from my foster child that had a mental health episode. If she wouldn't have called me while working to the highway with the staff security and police, no one wouldn't have told me anything if she didn't call me. See, DMR in Massachusetts, DMH in Massachusetts, just as bad. Just as bad. I forced a wraparound company that was providing DMH services. I forced him to pay me because I did his job. He told me, I said, you owe me $450, God damn it. I worked on the holiday. Where was your people? The parent could call anybody. Because you guys have wraparound services Monday to Friday without. So you actually believe these kids with mental health illnesses, they only do it Monday to Friday, 9 to 5? That's the only time they need your help? Good. I was available. I helped her. Kids in the hospital. Now what? We did all we did everything. What did you do? Amy, I'll drag you into court. I told him. How much you want to bet I drag you into court? No, I do your job. Oh yeah, I know, Tiffany. I know. They're crazy. So anyway, the mother goes to the thing. The kid has a big fat ankle. Nobody knows why his ankle is swollen. The guy from the house is standing right there with the doctor. When the doctor pulled up his pants to cut his leg, he was looking at the feet and everything. Noticed that the ankle was big. Now the kid got to go get x-rays. Yeah. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens in the middle. But the doctor issued an order in writing for the kid to wear a boot. And he has to wear sneakers every day, all day, while he's up and about in the house and outside. He has to wear sneakers, no slides, no. Okay. The mother goes to the house on Mother's Day, 2 Sundays in a row. Mother's Day, she goes up there. Kid don't have on the boot. Kid don't have on the sneakers. Okay, here it comes, guys. We sent an email. To regional area director for DS in that area, South Shore. He didn't like the way we were talking to him. I told him all that stuff I told you about, the people saying all this wild, crazy shit. And then now we have a guy with the kid has a medical order to wear the boot and to do this and do this, and now he's not wearing it. Do you know what he said? He said he looked into it. He called the program, and they said it was on. What he didn't know, that dumbass, was that the mother had taken pictures on Mother's Day with her 2 kids at the program. Guess what his son didn't have on? The boot, and he had on Adidas slides. The mother didn't know first that she had taken. She forgot she took that picture. Then she sent it to me. I said, "Are you kidding me? Send that freaking picture over to that idiot and tell him, yeah." So one's lying and the other one's swearing to it. Now they got this whole different story coming up. So tomorrow, I got to go set it straight. Let them know what time it is. Because the reason why he doesn't wear his boot, they said the reason why he didn't wear his boot is because he takes it off all the time. He has a 40 IQ, which are up for. We know he does this stuff. But you went there, he didn't have the boot on. You didn't tell the mother why at the time. The regional office said that he contacted you people at the house, and you said, "Oh no, he always has on his boot." And that was a big fat lie. He did not. I can't wait tomorrow to write that email. He's gonna be mad as hell. And I'm CCing it to the ombudsman. The ombudsman that oversees these idiots. And they're going to keep messing with me. I'm going to end up contacting the Department of Justice. Because like school district here, DMH, DMR, they all have funds that come in for DS. It's called HCBS. It's a federal waiver program for people that are in the home or self-directed care. So the state gets money, and guess what they do? They give the money to the providers, sort of like IDEA funds. When the state applies for the funds and then the districts apply for the grant, then the state, the same thing happens with the other grant, HCBS grant. Yeah. And so every time I write something, I include that HCBS waiver program issue. Then I cite the laws. They don't like me at all. But this is what we have to do. We have to let them know we know what time it is. We have to let them know you're not getting away. This is stupid. Somebody's lying. And that's what I'm going to say. And I'm going to run it through my AI program, and I'm going to say it nice. Because I'm CCing it to a whole bunch of people. One of them is the Boston Globe. DDS in Massachusetts is constantly in trouble. There was just an article written about how it's broken. That ain't all that's broken in Massachusetts. The Department of Education is a hot damn mess. Wait. Going to have mediation through OC. Oh, God. Retaliation suggestions. Yeah. Good luck. I hate OCR. Absolutely hate them. They literally have been busted by the feds for throwing out investigations, not investigating them, saying that it's not their job to do that particular thing. Oh, yeah, they've gotten in big trouble through the Office of Inspector General lots of times. They don't ever do their job. I don't even know why we have it. Yeah, you too? Yeah. Stop filing OCR. I'm gonna start doing that. If I have OCR doing something, I'm gonna file it. I'm gonna file a complaint against them. Why not? It works over here. I'll do it over there too. But yeah, so that's really what I wanted to tell you guys is when you are dealing with these, I don't know what they're called. I mean, wombats. Everything has to be in writing. Now, I mean everything. And if they won't put it in writing, then you put it in writing. So if you go to a team meeting and you ask for this, and this, and you tell them at the meeting, they say no, you say, so you're going to put your refusal in writing, correct? You wait. You give them 10 days. You don't get a response. What I would do is, right after the meeting, because it's called contemporaneous notes. Contemporaneous notes that you write carry a lot of weight. If it's done within minutes of something happening, within a day. So what I would do, and what I usually do, is I go back to my desk and get to type it and tell them on yada yada. We had a team meeting. This is what I just did it with an attorney because she wanted to play games. I fix her ass. I don't even know if she knows, but see, and that's another thing you guys have to understand. I get so mad when parents say, "Oh, I'm going to hearing." Hearings suck. Okay, you're going to lose. Okay, go look up the stats on how many times parents win at hearings. BSEA in Massachusetts is a joke. It's seriously a joke. I just withdrew because the hearing officer was trying to change my complaint. So in order to help the school district, mind you, I already won twice on these very issues. I won twice. But the school district didn't have any records. They had nothing because they never reevaluated the kid since 2020. Okay, so they had no evaluations that they could use during the hearing. Everything they had was outdated, beyond the scope of the hearing. They didn't have any teachers because since 2020, they haven't given a kid a teacher. So there was no teachers to testify. There were no related service providers to testify because that was the issue why we filed for the hearing. Because had the state done their job, we would have never filed for that hearing. We would have got everything we needed. But because the state didn't, so now the BSEA has decided they're going to switch it up. So these idiots wanted all the communication between me and my client. Okay. They wanted the medical records from the doctor, and the hearing officer said, well, all she had to do was tell the doctors to release the records. The school district subpoenaed the doctors. And on the bottom of the subpoena in Massachusetts, it says that if you do not comply with the subpoena, you may end up, in court in front of a judge. Guess what the school district didn't do because they're cheap? They never went to hearing. They never went in front of a judge. You know why? The judge would have thrown it out. Judge would have thrown it out. Because the reason why we're in a hearing is because the state said you owed the kid compensatory services and you didn't give it to him. And you just continued for 2 years. You continued doing the same thing over and over again. And so you think when the state did the investigation, they didn't ask for the medical records to find in our favor. When I filed against the state did ask for the medical records of the kid in order to find against themselves and that thing that I just put out there for you guys to see. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. You guys have to, it's going to hearing is no joke. It's better and easier to file complaints. It's better and easier to learn how to file a complaint that has no holes in it that they cannot get around. It's way better. It's way better. It's way better for you guys to do that. It's weird. You guys are posting and it's coming up on my shop. I don't know why that's happening. I got to check that out. But anyway. And I wanted to tell you, I just found out something. Okay, so I shut down my website for my advocacy. I shut that down because I wasn't paying for two things. So, and I'm stopping doing that anyway. But and that was the reason why I was going to do that program that I wanted to set up for you guys, where 5 or 6 of you came and I would tell you guys what to do on all of your shit. So the reason why I was going to teach you guys how to do it that way is because part of the deal that I had with Google was that I could do, all kind of trainings and stuff because I had unlimited minutes with Google. Well, guess what? I also have it with the people that I pay for this. It's called StreamYard. So I am going to be able to do it. So tomorrow I'm going to look it up, and then I will be sending out information because I think I can do up to 10 people, and it works pretty much the same kind of way, like everybody's there. But I'm going to go for 5 or 6 because then I'll be able to see everybody, and then you guys will be able to do a lot of stuff. And so I want to find out more about it. I just thought of it today. I said, damn it, why didn't I think about this before? So I can do it. It's like a podcast kind of thing, but it's just for the group of people that are that were invited to participate. It won't be for anybody else. Okay. And for right now, it's going to be free. Okay. So that's what we're going to do right now. And I'm going to tell you what it's going to be about, what you guys can bring. And, we'll just do it for a couple hours, see how far we get, and then we'll schedule it again. I don't know how many of these I can do and do this at the same time. So, okay. But I did find out it can be done. So let me figure it out. I'll check on it tomorrow, and then I'm going to do it real soon though. But I'll tell you what I'll do. What I will do is probably 1 week I'll do this, and the next week I'll do that. If that takes off, that's how I'll get everything there. So, okay, so that's what we're going to do. So basically this one right here was just to tell you guys how to write an email. When you communicate with these people, you have to understand something. They're not going to give you the right answers. They're not going to give you the answer you want. They're not going to give you the paperwork. They're going to dance around the issue all the time. You have to be laser focused on what you're requesting, and you don't beat a dead horse. Okay. It's just like when you're in a hearing. If you're an advocate and you're in a hearing, accept the answer they gave. Leave it. Because when you write up your closing argument or when you write up your complaints, you will take that email thread and you will demonstrate how you requested this information and this was the response from the school district. There is no IEP with a signature on it for this friggin' IEP. There's none. And they admitted it. And then you hand them their own shit in front of everybody. Wombats. That's what they are. The wombats. And that's bad for the wombat animal. No, I apologize to the wombat animal. But those people are wombats. That's my favorite word of all time, wombats. Okay. What to say. But yes, so just remember that just because, don't get mad, don't try to figure them out either, Megan. Don't try to figure them out. You're going to hurt yourself. See, my brain doesn't process stupid. When I try to process stupid, I lose my mind. And a lot of times, and I am loud. I can get really bad. And I apologize, Megan. In front of everybody, I'm apologizing to you because last few days it's been really hard. But it's frustration. And I know you want this done, and that's the part of being an advocate that I can't control that part as well as I want to. And it's because that's your kid. It's your kid. So the problem is that how you process information in your head as a normal person would is not how you process it with the people you're dealing with. They're not people. You can't say they have common sense. They have none. Common sense would dictate that crazy woman, Meg, would have just given you the damn IEP with the signature or said, I'm sorry, we don't have one. Instead, she dances around the issue, forcing another email because she's stupid. But this is what they do. And I'm telling you, I get mad too. Sometimes I tell everybody, and that's another secret I have. You never, ever, ever open your emails from the school on a Friday or the state on a Friday. It will ruin your weekend. You never do it before the holidays. It'll ruin your holiday. Because all during the holidays, that's what you're going to be thinking about, how you're going to respond. Don't do it. I'm telling you, leave it. Nothing's going to happen. If they sent you something before a holiday, guess what? Nothing's going to happen before the holiday. And what you do is you can set up your computer so that when they send you an email, it bounces right back to them saying you're on vacation. You're not available on Fridays. That's what you do. So when they send it to you, they know. I'm not available on Fridays. So they get to have all of these times and dates that they're available, but you're available when they want? No, that's not the way any of this works. I tell everybody. I told the BSEA, don't send me nothing on a Friday. I'm telling you right now. Not only do I not read anything you people send me on a Friday, because they do it on purpose. They're idiots. They're just mean. There's no other word for it. They're just mean wombats. There's no reason for them to do the things that they do, but they do them anyway because they think that gives them the upper hand. These stupid lawyers that work for the school district, they think they're all of that in a bag of chips. Seriously? Seriously? You are working in a rigged game that's rigged for you to win. Are you kidding me? You think that makes you a good lawyer? No, that makes you, Rudy Giuliani is what that makes you. Or that other ding-dong Costello who got chewed out by a judge. I mean, I just don't understand. They're just stupid. Sped director showed up to one meeting in tights. She looked like she was wearing... She wants me to address her. Tell her as soon as you learn how to dress. Don't. You address her the same way she... Does she use your first name? If she uses your first name, that's how you approach her. You don't say nothing. Tell her, excuse you. And lost your mind. I don't give a shit. You should come dressed more appropriately because they think they're the only ones that can say stuff like that at the meetings. I'll dress you any way I want. When you dress more appropriately for your profession, then I'll address you like that. Right, girl? I'm telling you, everything's come. Any goddamn I'm telling you, the things that I have said at team meetings you would be on the floor laughing. I mean, I've said some really wild, crazy stuff because I don't care. Half the time I don't remember. The parents have to tell me you said that out loud. You did? You did. I don't care. I truly, in my heart of hearts, I don't care. Like the one time I went to a team meeting and the parents literally flew me in. I was living here and I was still their advocate and they were going through some stuff. And so they flew me in. They said, please, these people are acting up and it's because you're not here, blah, blah. We'll fly you in. I said, okay. So I went. We didn't tell them. Nobody told them I was coming. So the mother walks in first. She was ahead of me. She was little. She's teensy. She's so little. And she's a very petite person. So she's walking in front of me and I'm 5'9". And I'm got stiletto heels on. So I'm like 6 feet tall. So I'm walking behind her. Alma tells them, when you become board certified physician, then I'll call you a doctor and you better be my private physician. That's right. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, we walk into the meeting and the parents were telling me how, they would whisper when I was on the phone because I went to all the meetings. I was just on the phone. So they were saying how, they were whispering every time I talked. And so I said, okay, we got a plan. She said, what's the plan? I'm going to lean into you while these idiots are talking. I'll just randomly do it. And I'll just do like this. Yeah. I did all kind of crazy stuff. This is what we were doing. And the mother was like, yeah, okay. So one of the times I did it, the woman that was talking, she said, yes, like bleach blonde. Yes, right. So, yes, exactly it. Butch Bad Boy. You saw that? That was hilarious. So anyway, I hate that woman. Anyway, that was perfect. Somebody finally. Oh, anyway, so we're sitting in the room, and the woman, she was a BCBA, and I already didn't like her. So she says, Timmy, are you talking to me? I said, is your name Vicky? She said, no. I said, your name's Karen, right? She said, yeah. I said, you'll know I'm talking to you, Karen, when I say Karen. Until then, please proceed. I just seen Obama say that to Mitt Romney during one of the debates. Please proceed. And then I went back, started whispering in the parents' ear. The mother was like, I don't believe you. I don't care. I don't care nothing about it. Then the mother fired the BCBA, and she did it just like Donald Trump. Get fired. I died. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, it's not. It's hilarious. Another time, my girl Barbara went to a team meeting and she banged on the table and yelled out the F-bomb. She did it twice. I said, listen, it's funny as hell, but you can't keep doing that. But yeah, you just there are times where you can't bite your tongue because they're just stupid. And I say stuff that's stupid. Another time the guy says, well, if she's going to act that way, then we're going to have to leave the meeting. The mother said, okay. And she got up and walked out the door. And now he's looking at me. He's like, well, Tammy, could you just tell? I said, you just said, if she doesn't know how to control. I said, Barbara, are you going to control yourself? She said, no. I said, meeting over. And I got up and walked out. They wanted me to stay. I said, no, I'm leaving. Bye. Stupid. Next time I told him, don't make a threat. You can't threaten people, not us. We don't care that about you. But anyway, so that's what I wanted you guys to learn, that you're not wrong. It's just sometimes in the way you're thinking about what you're asking. Sometimes you guys are all over the place with your emails. Yeah, you got to bring it in a little bit. You have to understand, you're talking to a 3-year-old. Understand something? So you got to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, so they get it. Just like a 3-year-old gets it. I don't know. She might be working. I'm gonna tell her, hey, people are asking for you. She loves that. She just gets all excited. But anyway, I'm gonna tell her you asked for her. So all you guys have to do is just bring it in a little bit. Look at, sometimes you want to write one email, but you want to write, you break it up. If you have something really big that you want to ask them, what you have to do, break it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be 4 or 5 emails. It doesn't matter. And every time you get a different answer, you will get an answer. Break it down. Answer one question at a time. And don't give them any information. They don't need to know why you did it. They don't need to know what you plan on doing with it. They don't need to know that you lost the document that you're asking for. They don't need to know anything about what you plan on, what happened, how it happened, when it happened. They don't need to know none of that. No. Just ask them a question. Ask one question at a time. One question at a time. They're done. That's how you write complaints. So write one complaint about one law they violated. It's way easier, because that way you can prove it way better all by itself. When you have all these other things, then the investigators have a way to get out of go way over here somewhere and then make up lies about why it's okay for them not to do what they're supposed to do. I just busted them doing that. So anyway, so I hope this helped you guys. I don't know, and I think I'll be talking about it more. But tomorrow, I'm going to put out a notice about the training, and I think what I'm going to do is, if I do a training, I'm not going to do this. If I do this, I'm not going to do a training. So it'll either be every other week. But the people that are in the thingy, which there's going to be a time where they go out and somebody else comes in. So it's always going to be giving other people an opportunity to come in and get advice and get consults from an advocate. Okay. Now, you never know. I might invite some other people in to come talk to you guys. So, you know what I mean? So I hope this was helpful. And I'm so happy that I love StreamYard. It's a real good platform, and I can have a lot of people on here. It's really cool. So all at once, so I can see everybody, and we can use screen share and all of that stuff. Okay, so you guys can bring documents. As long as your documents are in the computer, I can see them and I can show you and I can write on it and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I hope this helped you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Please check out my website, handmadebytammyj.com. I have a lot of stuff, and there's always something new on there. So pretty soon I'm going to start working on my winter stuff, which is a lot of hats, the booties, the winter soft squishy booties. Christmas is coming, guys. So anyway, that's right. Bye, Felicia's. I will talk to you guys soon, hopefully next week. Okay. And I hope you guys go look at that paperwork I put out there. All right. Love you. Bye, Felicia's. Let's see if I can do this. I want this, and I want. Hmm, okay, I don't have the thing to go out. 5,